Look at this, we are so pro now. I even got a professional mic now. Like, you can hear me really well. You can really hear my stuttering now. Hello, dear friends, and welcome to the first episode of the Dear Friend podcast of 2021. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. And if you are new, hi, I'm Eden. I'm the owner of DragonHoard, where I sell my handmade polymer clay charms, resin charms, watercolor paintings, and bags now, and a bunch of other handmade treasures. You can find me on Instagram as yarrowmail44, or you can check out my website, which is yarrowandco.squarespace.com. So we are outside today. This is not normal, but it is a beautiful afternoon. It has been incredibly stormy the past few days, and gray and dreary, and it's been kind of depressing. But right now the storm has gone away for a little while, and it's like blue skies. I mean, behind me, you can kind of see it. It's a little bright back there, but you can see like the sunshine is coming through. It has not gotten cold enough to snow here all winter, so it is just wet, but it's still chilly, which is why I am bundled up. I'll tell you what I'm wearing. This is like 100% wool jacket that I found at, I'm gonna have to move my mic. I found at a consignment store. But under here, hang on, this is gonna be weird. I need both hands. Okay. I am wearing, what is this? The Spellman sweater by DragonHoard yarn. I did not make this. My mom did. She actually test knit this, and this was her test knit sweater. It's got these really cool baubles and cables down the sleeve. It's fingering weight held with mohair, and it is super warm and cozy, but I needed just one extra layer. But when she test knitted it, it turned out too small. So I got my hands on it, and it is wonderful. I would love to make one for myself one day with a little bit longer arms. The arms are my only issue because my mom's shorter than I am, so the arms are a little shorter. And yeah, but it still works. And I've got my granny stripe cowl, which was supposed to be a blanket, but I got distracted real fast, so it became a cowl. And then, okay, I'm gonna zip up again. So I'm gonna clip. I'm getting used to a new microphone, which I got for my birthday. So we are real professional YouTubers now. Well, not yet. I still don't know how to use this stuff very well, but learning. Here we go. The sound's gonna be real weird on this video. I'm so sorry, but we'll figure it out. And yeah, so I'm all cozy up there. And then this is my newest design. This is the Dartanian Toque. It is a crocheted toque out of DK weight yarn, and so far it's been a one skein project. It's on the bigger side of DK weight skeins, because hers are a little bit bigger, which is wonderful. Sorry, hers. This is out of That Yarn Habit. This is the colorway We Hate Rachel Green Club. It is a Friends colorway, and like I said, it's a DK weight, and I love it. I originally designed this toque. There's a truck going by. You could either call it a hat, but I'm Canadian, so we call it a toque. And I originally designed this toque for my dad, who is a little bit particular about his hats. He doesn't like him to squeeze his head at all. But he doesn't want him to fall off. So I wanted to make this toque for him and really get it to be a good fit. So I made him one for Christmas, and he absolutely loves it. He's been telling me that the fit has been really nice, and so that pushed me to get this pattern out as soon as possible. So it is coming out on the 25th of this month, January. So that'll be really exciting. I love this hat. I'm gonna make a bunch of them. I think these are gonna end up being like my gift makes for this year because it is so fast. I mean, hats even in knitting are generally fast, but when you're crocheting, it's super fast. And it has this super cool texture that adds effect to an extremely crazy skein of decay or even a subtle tonal works. My dad's is just straight forest green. I wish I would have grabbed it, but maybe I'll stick in a little clip of him wearing it, because I gotta get him to take a picture with his on for the pattern. So yeah, that is what I'm wearing. And is this a finished object last episode? I think it was. But anyway, there you go. I haven't podcasted since the beginning of December, so there's a ton of stuff to show you. After Vlogmas, I was just so burned out of filming. Like, I had a ton of fun. It was so, it was a great journey to have and learn a lot about filming and about vlogging, and I learned my own film style. And huge thanks to my brother that edited every night for the whole of Vlogmas, and it was just a lot of fun. But by the end of it, I was really tired of filming, so I thought I'd take a break for a little while before I podcasted again. I was hoping to get my Advent blanket done before I podcast again, but I didn't. But that's okay. I still have a huge blanket to show you. But speaking of blankets, I have another finished object here that is not yarn related, but I finished a quilt. So this quilt I originally made 7-8 years ago. And it was almost done. I think I showed you this on Vlogmas, I think. It was I can't speak English. It was all sewn up. It was all done. All it needed was the binding on the edge. And I had avoided that for 7 years. That's how much a procrastinator I can be. It was ridiculous. But one day, I had my machine out and I was sewing bags, and I saw this quilt and I was like, you know what? It is time. It is time to be finished. I will throw in a picture of the full thing, but it has these really cool squares. So there's herbal tea and potpourri. I think that's a fruit preserves. And these were pre-made squares, so that's actually a print. And yeah. So it has been so nice to have this quilt finally done, and it's pushed me to finish the rest of my quilts. I think I have one other on the go. I've got one other that has just been sitting there. It's just squares right now. So Just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that. I would like it to be a fairly big quilt, so we'll see how that goes. Then, yeah, I have been revamped to quilt and sew more. So probably through the month of January and probably February, I will be showing you some sewing stuff too, which I do have. Yeah, I think we could move on to works in progress. I've been chattering for a long time. So, yeah, gonna move on to works in progress at last. I'm sorry for talking your ears off. Okay, so first work in progress. This kind of leads me from the bag sewing to this. I have been sewing these bags for the shop. This is one I made for me. I kind of messed up on where the handle went. So I was like, you know what? I get to keep a bag. That's the great thing about the ones you make a mistake on. It's like, you know what? I get to keep it. I don't. So I didn't mind this. I was going to keep one of these anyways. This is a Labyrinth themed fabric. And I love it so much. Labyrinth is probably my favorite movie. It is in competition with a couple other movies, but if I had to choose a movie, like, what do you want to watch tonight? Nobody has an idea. Labyrinth, I would totally go with it. So you can see like all the characters on there. There's Sarah, and I think you got, oh, Toby's right there. And got the fire gang, and the owl, and a caterpillar. Oh, and there's a good one, a hoggle back here. It is such a cute fabric. I got it off of Spoonflower, and they were having a sale on fat quarters. So I grabbed a few different fat quarters to make these bags for in the shop. I've got some other ones that I'm gonna be throwing in soon. And then this was a old curtain that went really well with it. So I cut it up and used it as the other pieces. And then the final thing is this little resin orb to stand as those little crystals that Jareth the Goblin King used, which he's right there. Look how cute he is in his little mullet. So in here is actually 2 works in progresses. It's big enough to hold 2 projects on the inside. There's just some more of that shiny curtain. It's the darker version. So the first one actually links in with this bag. These are going to be a pair of socks for my boyfriend, because this pattern is going to be a very special pattern. I don't have a name for it, and I can't even show you what it's going to look like yet, because it's just 2 little toes. I just started. But I'm not going to give anything away. This is going to be a new pattern that I'm designing, and it is going to be very special. So I'm not going to give away any secrets, but I wanted to show off how cool this yarn is. There we go. Ooh, there we go. This is David Bowie from, where's my ball band? From Black Cat Custom Yarn. There they are. They dye yarn in Chilliwack, BC, so very close to me. Well, a 2-hour flight for me, but to me that feels close. It is 80% superwash blue-faced Leicester and 20% nylon. It is their workhorse sock base. So it has been really interesting to use. I've never used this base before. Definitely a hearty yarn. I have found that the plies split really easily when it's being turned too much. Like you can see this tail is coming apart, but that's okay. For me, it's not a big deal. It's been working up to a really cool fabric. This is on size 0 needles, so it's a very dense fabric, which I really like. It is 2 millimeter size 0 needles, and I'm doing these 2 at a time, and they're going to be really cool. I don't think... Oh, I forgot the contrast color. You know what? I'm going to grab it because it is so worth it. Okay, so these are the little contrast minis that are going to be going along with this. So it is going to be really cool. It matches perfectly. I've been waiting to find the right contrast color to go with this yarn because I knew it was going to become some socks. I've had this sock yarn David Bowie for a very long time because I am a David Bowie fan from Labyrinth and his music, and so I wanted this to be something special. And then I had ordered Kate Selene yarn, which I will show you later in my acquisitions, but she sent along some little extra minis in the package, which was so sweet, and it is just the yarn I needed. So I'm very excited. I cast them on almost immediately as soon as I saw these minis with this yarn. Okay, this is gonna be a lot of talking, which is the point of a podcast, but there's a point. My next work in progress is another Dartanian Toque, which I've been working on. This is just the increases. It is worked from the top down and has this super cool texture that so far goes with any yarn. It is really cool. This is Marshland from Gingersnap. It's caught on my pen. It is in the skein. This was a gift from Kim and Colin of Gingersnap, and I have been saving it for something special, and so I thought I'd make a Dartanian Toque. This is their Luxe DK. It is 100% super wash merino with 17 micron, which I know there's a science behind that, but I don't quite know the science. But there it is. It is so soft. It's like, the only word I can find it's like butter. It's so smooth, which is a weird thing to compare yarn to, but it's just so soft. It's luxurious. Like butter, basically. Butter's luxurious nowadays. Yeah, so I am doing this on a 3.5 millimeter hook that I made myself. It's not good at all, but I had this plain metal crochet hook that I used for a lot of things. This is probably my most used size right now. So I wanted to make it fancy, so I put polymer clay around it and did a terrible job at making it smooth, so I didn't put too much effort into it, and then covered it in some rose gold paint. But it still works well, and it fits my hand because I squeezed it the way I held it so that it would fit in my hand. And yeah, put the socks back in there. Hear the geese? I don't know how much this microphone picks up, but the Canadian geese have still been hanging about here because it hasn't really gotten to be wintertime yet, or will even be wintertime. No snow or anything, but we'll see like later in January, because that's What happened last year is that we had a pretty mild December, and then all of a sudden January just got like freezing cold, and we got some snow. It got super icy, but there was snow. That's the important part. I tuck my quilt in a little bit more. Okay. Next work in progress is another pair of socks that I cast on. You've probably, if you watched Vlogmas, you've seen these socks before. I stopped in the middle of a row, of course, but you know what? We'll work with that. These are my Christmas socks that I cast on. I didn't cast them on Christmas Eve. I kind of cheated. Like I counted as my Christmas Eve cast on, but it was cast on, I think, the day before Christmas Eve, or even maybe 2. But I was so excited. I've been saving this yarn since Christmas of 2019. So this Christmas I really wanted to cast on these Christmassy socks. I have all the ball bands here today, guys. So excited. This is Holly from K-Zip Knits. It is on her Granville glitter, which is 85% merino and 16% gold stellina. 16. Like, look at that. You can actually see it on camera. I hope. You can see it on the green part pretty well, but it's through the whole thing. And it's so sparkly. It makes me so happy. I love sparkly yarn. Here it is in the skein. See, oh, you can see a little sparkle, I hope. And the little green mini. So, yeah, these are for me, of course. And these are on size 2.25 millimeter, size 1 US needles. I'm doing these 2 at a time as well. I just really wanted a simple project, just straight knit, because I had been looking around at all my projects I was starting to finish them. I was hoping to finish all my projects before 2021, but that didn't happen. But I had no straight knitting projects. They all required a little bit of thinking, which I didn't want. Sometimes you just want to turn your brain right off, but still want to knit. So I cast on these socks just to have for straight knitting, and it's been really nice. Oh, and while I grabbed those minis, I grabbed my dad's Dartanian Toque. And this one is a little bit bigger than mine. I made it a little bit longer for him. So if you get the pattern for when you're just doing the straight rows with no increases, you could just keep going. If you want it longer, just keep going. Make it bigger. It is like the texture is so cool on just the tonals. Yeah. So pretty. And he's been loving it. Next work in progress is my blanket. So this is going to be really big. It's probably not going to fit in the screen, but we'll try our best. This is my giant puff stitch hexagon blanket by Bright Red Cherries. And this is my 2020 Advent calendar blanket. I am crocheting this on, I can't remember what size this is because they don't put it. This is a Knit Picks rainbow wood hook, which is great. I love this. I'm pretty sure it's a size 5. I don't sound so sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a size 5. And here it is. Here we go. Oh, maybe. There we go. Whoa. My neighbors are probably gonna wonder, what is she doing? But whatever. Yeah, so here it is. It is so big and it's really heavy. But I love that about this blanket is its weight. I think it's because, like weighted blankets have become really popular these days. So this is like a homemade weighted blanket, and the colors have been showing up so well. They marled really well. So I am using the Storyweaver yarn Royal Tudor Advent Calendar for my 2020 Advent Calendar. Here's the skein I'm on right now. It's really pretty pink with gold. And then I have been holding it, all the minis together with this yarn. This is Whiskers from Mad Tosh. And yeah, I love this pattern. It's been so cool to work on. It is so big, but shows off the colors really well. And the squish is amazing. Yeah, so it's fingering held double. And what else can I say? But it's amazing. The only thing that kept me from finishing this in December, because it's crocheted, it was super fast and I could do the color each day, like do the whole mini in a day, which was great. So I got up to day 17 and then realized I needed more of the whiskers of my main color. And it had the 3 skeins I had in my stash were really old. I had taken them from my mom years ago when she was downsizing her stash, and I was like, oh, I'll use these. And finally got their chance to be used, and then realized I needed more. So I searched the internet high and low, but definitely not enough, and couldn't find any. But then Julie, really sweet, was able to find some for me, and so I ordered it, and it came pretty fast for coming from the US up here to Canada. It was actually surprising, but I am working my way through. I am on day 20, 21. I think I'm on 21, so I'm almost done. It'll definitely be done for next podcast. And I really want to finish it to just use it, because I've found that when I'm working on it, I'll all of a sudden just stop and just cuddle up with it because it's big enough for that, and it's glorious. So definitely need to finish that soon. And those are my main projects that I'm working on right now. And those are, my works in progress. I wanted to show you all my acquisitions next. So let's do that. So between finishing Vlogmas and now, there was Christmas and there was also my birthday. So I've aged yet again. For me, age is just a number. I still feel like a little child because that's my mental age. Both 4 and 80. That's the way I could describe my personality, is I am a 4-year-old and an 80-year-old at the same time. But anyways, that's a weird ramble, but yeah, so it was my birthday, so I have gotten older. And for my birthday, I got some organizing cabinets for the shop, which has been amazing. It has been such a game changer to have everything all sorted out and right where I need it. I've got a new workspace, which I've shown on Instagram, before, I might throw in a little tour for the end of this podcast. I got a professional microphone from my aunt and uncle, who are really sweet, and my aunt watches the podcast. Hi, Auntie Tammy. And they got me a light ring, which all the professionals use, which is amazing. I love it. It's holding my phone too, because it's got a stand in there, so hopefully my podcast will get a little bit more pro. No promises. Yeah, but I also got yarn, and I got this bag from, my mom got this for me. This is a bag from Gingersnap, and it is also a labyrinth themed bag. So look how cute they are. I mean, look at Jareth. Isn't that the best face? He looks so upset, but you can't take him seriously. And then back here, we got Ludo and Toby, and I love this bag so much. It's huge, so it is gonna be my go-to bag for sure now. And I've got a bunch of yarn. Some of it is birthday yarn, and some of it I purchased earlier in 2021, and then the mail kind of just slowed down because of Christmas time. But that was okay. It was totally worth the wait. So first off, I'm going to take the crinkly one out first. This is, I love it so much. This is Gingersnap yarn, obviously. This is on their Tweedy DK. It is 85% superwash merino and 15% Donegal Meps. And it's so cool. I love green, so it is green and silver, and definitely going to be like a sweater or something. We'll have to see what it becomes, but it's just going to sit beautifully in my stash for a little while. But I love it. Okay. And then Tristan of DragonHoard Yarn was so sweet and sent me and my mom some turkey coma sock sets for Christmas. And look how cool that is. And that colorway is just, she's so good at dyeing yarn. It's like she is a wizard of dyeing yarn. And this is on her myth fingering, which is 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. And it's super soft. So I can't wait to make something out of this. Okay. And this also came. This was a gift from Kim and Colin. This makes me so happy. Look at that green. It is just as bright in person as it is on the screen. This is their Appy Avocado on Zest Fingering, which is a fantastic base that they have. I love it. It is 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and it's just so fun. And it comes with a little avocado. I love avocados. So, I love it. And then, I ordered this stuff for myself. One was kind of a birthday present to me, so that's this one. This is Holiday Peppermint from Rose Hill Yarns, and she does such a good job dyeing yarn. She is also a wizard who dyes yarn, and it's so pretty. So peppermint, definitely peppermint. It is her fingering weight. This is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. It's a full skein and then a little mini. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. It could be a pair of socks, or it could be look at that speckling. Just beautiful. I might be leaning towards a hat with this. And then last, but certainly not least, we have some Selene yarn that I ordered. This is going to be a very special tecumseh. I've been wanting to make a tecumseh for a while now. This was originally going to be a shawl, but I saw this and my original shawl idea was going to be holding mohair with it. But then I saw this colorway and I couldn't possibly cover this up with mohair. I just needed to see the whole thing in all its glory, all its speckled glory. She is so talented and such an amazing dyer. She is in the UK, so this took a long time to get here, but it was so worth the wait. This is the Little Mermaid. It is superwash merino, 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. And I got 3 skeins of this. So there they are. Aren't they pretty? I got so excited when I opened the package with this in it. It blew my mind because they were way prettier. I mean, they were pretty on the screen, but they were like 1,000 times more pretty. I can't even use proper grammar of how pretty this was when I saw it. Yeah, so those are all my acquisitions. My stash is definitely loaded for 2021. Probably going to end up with more yarn in 2021. I'm not yarn dieting this year. But I'm so excited to take on this year with design ideas, and there's going to be some yarny adventures this year, and to amp up the podcast, and there's definitely going to be more vlogs throughout the year because I did have fun doing them. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so that is all the rambling I've had, all the rambling I can do. The sun is going to start setting soon because it is still winter and there's some more dark clouds rolling in, so my sunlight is limited. But it was so nice to hang out with you guys this afternoon and enjoy the outside, and I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I'm very excited to be back, and hopefully we'll be trying to podcast a little bit more through this year. Yeah, so I hope you all have a wonder-filled day, and I will see you next time, dear friends. Bye.